Have you ever thought about the reasons why so many individuals attend college? While some students attend college to fulfill their parents' wishes, the absolute majority attend to earn a degree that will allow them to find a stable, well-paying career. This fact is that not everyone has access to schooling of the same caliber. And does the fact that some people never make anything close to 6 figures per year, does it imply that they will never be wealthy? Not exactly. If you want to get wealthy on a modest income and skyrocket your cash flow, make sure to watch this video until the end. There are two sides to the issue when it comes to creating wealth. The income side enables you to scale up your wealth more quickly as your income increases. The saving side comes next. Only one factor, how much you spend, has an impact on the saving side of the equation. Since not everyone is employed in a high-paying position, people who make lower wages must exercise extra diligence in managing their money to maximize the saving side of the wealth equation. Fortunately, it is more than possible to become wealthy even with a smaller wage. And I'll now walk you through the key points you must take to archive that goal. My name is Marcus, and I help teach people about money, personal finance, and investing. If you are interested in improving your financial future, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button if this video is helpful. Key point 1. The wealth formula. The formula is how much money you have coming in versus how much money you have going out. So income minus expenses equal to cash flow. If your cash flow is stable, you have extra cash. If your cash flow is negative, then you're much more likely to get into debt. True wealth is the money you haven't spent, because with every 5% increase in income, you can retire many years sooner. If your cash flow is $5,000, your expenses are $0, and you can continue living this way after retirement, you could be financially independent right now. Assuming you can save 10% or $6,500 out of your annual salary of $65,000, you would have a total of $78,000 saved in a year. If you were to up your income to $75,000 and continue with the same 10% saving rate, your savings would be $92,250. This is simply by increasing your annual salary by 5%. Nearly $18,000 is what the average American spends a year on non-essential items. Key point 2. The numbers. To determine if you're financially on pace to be a millionaire by age 65 and how much money you have saved up to date. Knowing this, you may make necessary adjustments to your finances before it's too late. For example, if you have $78,000 saved and your goal is to reach millionaire status by age 65, but you only bring in an annual salary of $75,000 due to lower wage earners such as yourself. In this case, you would need to decrease expenses by at least 5%, which would mean reducing your food bill by 20%. This could also include cutting back on entertainment or travel budgets. You may also want to consider downsizing your home considerably. A smaller mortgage means more money can be put towards savings each month. What is the greatest strategy for money management? Putting an end to tracking everything and the budget. Do you think wealthy people save this information on Excel spreadsheets? But don't get me wrong. If you have a spending issue or are not financially stable, detailed budgeting may still be a good idea. An illustration of what the wealthy truly do is automated rules every month, and they transfer the money they want to save into a savings account and the money they want to spend into a spending account. Their paychecks are automatically placed into their checking account. Also, their recurring monthly payments, average living expenses, and other expenses are all included in this spending account. The idea is that since the wealthy are aware of their fixed monthly expenditure, they can establish spending limits for things like food, entertainment, travel, shopping, and other costs. At the end of the month, they will also be aware of any unused funds. Key point 3. Rice and chess. Everyone makes one investing error that results in losses of hundreds or even thousands of dollars. But there are some basic rules of investing that, if followed systematically and with discipline, can help you to achieve great financial success. The first rule is to avoid the common traps of Wall Street. Don't chase hot stocks or get too heavily invested in any one investment vehicle. Make sure your portfolio reflects a balanced mix of investments that include both stocks and bonds. And remember, in the stock market, 10% per annum or more performance is usually required for real estate investors before they can expect strong capital gains. If you save $1,000 in year 1 and earn 10% interest on it, you would make $100 in year 2 and $110 in year 3 because your investment is now worth $1,000 with your 1-year interest and $1,210 with your 2-year interest. Therefore, your interest earned in year 1 was $100, and your interest earned in year 2 was $1,210. Year 3 will be $121 over time. Your interest on the money you initially saved and the interest you received for that original amount. If we graph this out, we can see an exponential growth curve, which is why Albert Einstein said compound interest is the world's eighth wonder and is exactly how 99% of Warren Buffett's wealth was acquired after his 50th birthday. Key point 4. Water plants. There are two main advantages to having multiple sources of income. The first is that you decrease your dependence on anyone, even your full-time job. You could believe that your full-time job is safe and secure, but it's actually far riskier than you think. What if your company goes out of business or you're laid off? Suddenly, you find yourself jobless and with no income. The second advantage is that it allows you to save more money. Suppose your primary source of income is a regular salary, but occasionally, you get an inheritance or win the lottery. In this situation, all your extra money would go towards earning interest on it rather than being used for basic living expenses like groceries, rent, utilities, and clothes. The key to accumulating wealth is investing your surplus cash flow, but you must do it properly. I'll teach you how to get started, but first, here's the error that you must avoid making. You may have heard much about day trading before seeing it on Ticker, Instagram, or YouTube. People are said to analyze charts, buy and sell 20 times per day in the hopes that the price will rise, and believe this is the secret to financial success. They fail to mention that day trading is not as thrilling as it may sound. 90% of day traders experience a financial loss. The problem with day trading is that it's a high-risk, short-term investment strategy. What this means is that you're gambling on the stock market, and if it goes down, your losses are significant. There have been cases where people have lost millions of dollars in just a few hours. The best way to avoid this fate is by only investing what you can afford to lose, keeping track of your positions at all times, and never investing money you cannot afford to lose. Key point 5. Saving and investing for the long term. Saving money should be your one priority. To become wealthy on a low salary, you need to save as much as possible. The more money you save, the more wealth you can accumulate over time. There are many different ways to save and invest, so it's important that you explore all of them and find what works best for you. Keep in mind that investing is riskier than just saving, but if done correctly, it can lead to even bigger returns down the road. 5 golden rules for saving money. 1. Automate your finances. If possible, try to set up automatic transfers from your checking account into savings or investment accounts each month so that you don't have to think about it too much unless, of course, there is an emergency. This will help keep your finances on track and increase your chances of reaching your long-term savings goals. 2. Invest in yourself. Make targeted investments in skills or education that will give you an edge over the competition down the road. This could include spending money on classes to learn a new trade, taking online courses that will expand your knowledge base, or enrolling in continuing education programs to keep your skills current. 3. Make careful financial decisions. Don't spend money impulsively, and don't overspend on unnecessary items just because they're affordable right now. Stick to sensible budgeting practices and avoid borrowing money unnecessarily, both of which can put you in a hole financially down the road. 4. Discipline yourself when it comes to saving. For big-ticket items like weddings or cars or anything else, save as much as you can each month and set a realistic target for how much you want to save for these types of events. When it comes to cars, make sure you understand the cost associated with purchasing and financing one before making an investment decision. 5. Be patient. It may take some time, but saving money is definitely worth it in the long run. Your hard-earned dollars will add up faster than you might think. However, if you are making less than $75,000 per year as an individual without any significant assets or liabilities like mortgage payments, there's no harm in beginning at this level and working towards increasing your income gradually. It's also important to remember that you don't need a high income to be wealthy. You can have a modest salary and still have more than enough money saved each year to achieve millionaire status on a low wage.